Greetings to all panels. My name is Enoch Michael Liansim. Matric number is B0519100079. My title of project is to design and develop DIY water hammer eliminator for domestic water system. This is my presentation outline, which consists of 7 chapters, which is Introduction, Problem Statement, Objective, Literature Review, Methodology, Analysis Element, and also Expected Result. A water hammer occurs when an open pipe valve closes abruptly, causing a continuous water flow with the same pressure to be slammed and reversed because the water has nowhere else to go. Most household appliances recommend a water pressure of 60 to 80 psi, which is the standard pressure for residential areas. Water hammers occurs a loud banging noise during the phenomenon. A current water hammer eliminator is very expensive, which leads a domestic user ignoring and does not want to buy any of the water hammer eliminator. Most water hammer eliminators on the market are overpriced, ranging from 100 ringgit Malaysia to 500 ringgit Malaysia based on quality. Most are made of stainless steel and brass. For the problem statement, water hammer mostly happen when the water flow on the water network is unexpectedly stopped, and it cannot be avoided when these circumstances occurs physically. The increased pressure in the water network is caused by water hammer, which can strike a leakage on the piping system. The current water hammer eliminator in the market is too overrated due to its high price. And lastly, the piping system cannot withstand the additional pressure that occurs from the water hammer. The objective of this project is to evaluate current design water hammer eliminator, to design and develop a DIY water hammer eliminator that can be made easily by a domestic water user, and to test and evaluate a DIY water hammer eliminator. For the literature review, I will explain the previous research. The first one is Dennis P. Nolan, when he stated in 2017. The title of the project is Pump Installation, Piping Arrangement, and Accessories. The finding are the kinetic energy of the moving mass of liquid is converted into pressure energy. This results in a rise in pressure as well as dynamic change in pressure. Piping cords allow for various design of pressures, and higher pressure rated valves could be installed. Second, Marshall Long in 2014, Plumbing and Piping Noise. If allowed to continue, water hammer may damage a pipe by exposing the fluid stream to a restricted air pocket. High pressure shock may expand into a pressure release surface. This water hammer arrestor contains a gas in a flexible bladder or a separate branch on a threaded T-fixtures. In residential construction, such as devices are helpful when installed to the water heater's output pipe and near quick closing valve, such as a sprinkler system. Third, Morris Stewart in 2016, Piping Standard Codes and Recommended Practices. The pressure increase operating at the closed valve in the piping system may produce a force equivalent to pressure times the cross-sectional area of the pipe, or around 1075 and 665 pounds, which can cause an uncontrolled pipe to shift from its usual position. Fourth, Peter Grell in 2001, Shock waves in liquid. Liquids were considered for a long time as incompressible substance. A sharp front pressure wave that looks like a violent hammer blow is made when the flow in a long pipe suddenly slows down or speed up. Fifth, Merritt in 2021, Viscoelastic loop strategy for water hammer control in a pressurized steel pipeline. The experimental result reveals the viscoelastic loop strategy is very effective to control the water hammer, which overall maximum pressure damping efficiency reached to 69.5%. Jagger in 1956, oscillating water hammer effects. The issue of resonance has been a characteristic in hydroelectric works where there has been a requirement to examine the stability of such tank in response to small load changes, and this has been dealt with completely. Lewandowski and Brittle Jr. in 2000. Application of fiberglass reinforced plastic to corrosion-resistant equipment for piping system and pressure vessels. The best way to minimize the shock when a valve opens is to slow down how fast it opens and shuts. By lowering the actuation pressure, valves that are opened by air or water can be set to open more gently. Rosello in 2018, a novel water hammer device designed to produce controlled bubble collapses. A water hammer device that causes controlled bubble collapses is demonstrated. A laser-generated bubble is expanded and then compressed using an electromechanical piston. This device shows that the idea works in a series of low-energy tests that use glycerin and phosphoric acid as working liquid. Taylor in 2019, what to do about the water hammer. This vertical pipe located near the water valves help alleviate water hammer by acting as a cushion. The air chamber absorbs the shock of the water once the valve closes, preventing the water from loudly slamming against the side of the pipe. Water hammer resters feature air-filled cylinder that absorb the jolt of a sudden water pressure increase when a valve shut off. For the methodology, consists of two flowcharts, which is the research stage and design stage. For the research stage was consists of study on problem faced by domestic water user, identify cause of problem which were high water pressure and water hammer that cause pipe leaking. These researches were done by seeking data from internet, literature review, case study, and catalog in order to collect any data of pipeline diameter, water pressure, maximum water, hammer pressure, and accumulator application and requirement. All the data found will conclude in the introduction chapter and literature review chapter. In design stage, it consists of understanding on the concept and function of water hammer eliminator, concept design sketching, conceptual design matrix, drawing of selected design in SolidWorks programming, and also design of accumulator simulation kit. The figure shows the current water hammer eliminator, where it illustrates the working principle. By installing a water hammer arrestor in the water line of the particular fixture or appliance is a simple procedure. The rapid interruption of water flow creates a shock wave, which is absorbed by the arrestor. It is generally enough to install a water arrestor or a water hammer eliminator on each line that supplies the problematic fixtures. Next, these are the two concepts of DIY water hammer eliminator. The figure on the left illustrates the DIY water hammer eliminator using air bladder, where the water flow through 3/4 inches pipe to 3 inches accumulator. The figure on the right illustrates the DIY water hammer eliminator using tube bladder, where the water flow through 3/4 inches pipe to 2 inches accumulator. These two concepts are two different designs in order to reduce the water hammer in the water network system. In the simulation kit, there will be two flows of pipeline, which one will be installing with accumulator and the other one will represent the normal pipeline flow nowadays. Valve will be used to open flow, for which flow line that we want to use, and the pressure gauge will show the indicator of pressure in the flow line. This simulation kit's purpose is to show or test either the water hammer eliminator is functioning to prevent water hammer. Next, this is the analysis element, which consists of cost estimation and hydrostatic test. For the cost estimation, it shows the list of an item, quantity, and cost in order to fabricate an actual water hammer eliminators. This cost will collect from the survey that has been done. For hydrostatic test, the use of this test is to measure the pressure inside the bladder to identify what is the maximum and minimum value in bar or PSI for the bladder to handle. This is the formula for the hydrostatic pressure, which is hydrostatic pressure equal to the working pressure times yield strength of the material, which is PVC pipes. Substitute the value of the working pressure, that is 6 bar, which is the standard pressure in household, and value of yield strength, that is 1.5, which is found from the material properties of PVC pipes. So the total of hydrostatic pressure is equal to 9 bar or 130 psi for the tanks. And lastly, the expected result of the project. The first one is to obtain a new design of DIY water hammer eliminator, develop an affordable water hammer eliminator, and also minimizing the amount of water hammer occurs on water network system for a domestic user. That's all from me. Thank you very much.